Hello everyone, and it's Sloth here today with fan favorite Mono Blue Control. I know you guys wanted it, you guys got it. So basically we have very interesting deck that will be very fun to watch and play with. But if you are thinking about crafting this one, be sure to watch the intro until the end. Yeah, because we have serious talk to do about the mono blue. But other than this, let's talk about the deck first, because that's why you are here. Of course, Jin Gitaxias, the most fun card. Like honestly, the more I play this guy, the more I like it because it's so hard to deal with, and it survives more often than I would expect. And when it survives and you can copy your spells, the value you get from this is insane. You will see Jin Gitaxias in action in today games. You will see, maybe even, Invoke the Winds copied from the Jin Gitaxias, which is hilarious in a way. Alright, so if you like those cards and you don't see them enough, definitely this is the video for you. And this is also because it's dedicated to one of the viewers that really cared about this deck. So I hope you will enjoy this lazy Sunday with some fun, casual builds of mono blue control. So, Invoke the Winds card that is really hard to use, but when it works, it can be amazing. And in some of the games, you will see that it can be game winning, definitely. And it really is a card with extremely high potential. Yeah, but of course, it's very situational. And if you play against discard decks like I did today, so it's not exactly the perfect deck to hit it, but generally it is a huge mana swing. For 5 mana you basically remove the card and you take it, and the untapping part is amazingly important. For artifacts it makes that you get the value the same turn, and for the creatures it's even more important because you are usually on the defense, so when you take the creature it's usually tapped. It means that it cannot defend you, and sometimes you just cannot do it because you die. With this untap it actually can block and save your skin if the game is close. So about the rest of the deck, what is the idea? With mono blue, the biggest problem is lack of removal. So we went for 4 Fading Hopes because that's basically only removal that we have. And I was thinking, how the hell can we remove creatures? Because unavoidably something will come through our counter spells, and we don't have as many counter spells in a way. And the Invoke the Winds was the answer. Especially with Lier, we can cast basically 6 times Invoke the Winds, and that's enough to, steal all the creatures. The problem is that it's slow and it's late, and now comes the rest part of the deck. Double Celestus and 4 Spell Satchels. Yeah, I've been trying to make it work. And I think if it works in any kind of deck, it's something like this, because we basically run all the instants. Every card in our deck except like double Jin Gitaxias, 1 Lier, 3 spirits, and artifacts is basically instant. Even some of the lands, because we run 4 Jwari Disruption. Yeah, we have a lot of talk about this deck. So Spell Satchel, this card is weird. After playing the games, it definitely helps so much. Like, you can cast Jin Gitaxias on turn 5 if you have good draws, but at the same time, when you get this late game in packs, I don't know if that's the shuffler or whatever, but sometimes I get just 2 or 3 in a row. This feels awful, but when you start the game with this on turn 2, it accelerates the whole game for you so much. It's basically a 2 mana stone that can draw you cards when you don't need it, so it's really interesting card. You can think how it works for you. If anything would be changed in this deck, it's probably Spell Satchels to maybe 2. That's my thinking, and get more counter spells. It's up to you. What's your personal playstyle? But I really try to make them work, and they definitely contributed to a lot of tempo in the deck, and that's what we need, because we cannot wait until turn 5 to cast Invoke the Winds because it's too slow. So we just need to accelerate at least this one turn. As a 4-drop, it's just so much better. Alright, other than this, we have first for discovery with a fancy skin, so we have only basic lands basically in this deck. So for this reason we get full value every single time when we hit any kind of land, and it really makes it a very appealing card. We also have double Memory Deluge to hit this value, and we can go to 7 mana much faster than the other decks because of the Spell Satchel and Celestus. So it's actually really easy to just flashback this one. Alright, we have some Reckoner Bankbuster for some recurring value. I have found that at least one really helps you over the long games to just, stabilize with the card draw. And yeah, we also have different mana plan, because as you can see, we don't run Hall of the Storm Giants. It is probably something I should run. So if you want to be a responsible gamer, you should probably take one land and get Hall. But we run 4 Jwari, and I really want to use Ascendant Spirit on curve every single turn, and it means that we need only Snowlands. So I have decided that Jwari is as far as I go to not have a Snowland. And it really pays out. You will see in some of the games. This is basically a control deck that in some cases can go extremely aggressive. And I think I was thinking, what is the benefit of going mono blue? The fact that you can run, basic lands, but it's not usually a big problem because you have so much dual lands, triple lands, whatever. So I guess having untapped lands, and you can go for the snow-covered version, because if you are going for the snow version, it's much harder to splash colors, because you basically have 4 splashed lands, and that's it. So if we are having this benefit, why not go Ascendant Spirit? Because this is actually a really great card combined with control. Why? Because you pay only 1 blue mana for a creature that will kill the enemy very quickly. And if you keep counter spells, then the enemy very often doesn't play into them. And then you dump all the mana into this creature at the end step. So they need to pressure you, or they get punished by Spirit. And if this dies at some point, usually with huge expense from the enemy, you don't really care. It was just I cannot talk. It was just your one drop. And we still have Lier, we still have Jin Gitaxias. Those are the cards that kill the enemy. Even Bankbuster and even Invoke the Winds. They will find something to kill the enemy. I didn't have huge trouble killing enemy with this deck, surprisingly. So I really like the Ascendant Spirit. And if you draw it on turn 1, you can actually play like a mono blue tempo every single turn, and some decks will not answer this and you just kill them. And you will see in one of the games how it went. So yeah, I really like this card, and I think that's one of the good parts about playing mono blue control in this kind of deck, because you get the perfect creature for control decks. 1 mana, I kill you thing. So as good as it gets. Alright. Now, serious talk for everyone thinking about going with this on the ladder. I wouldn't. Going mono blue is fun, it's great. It's more of a Sunday deck that I wanted to share with you guys because I think it's entertaining. But I was not brave enough to go into ladder with this one, so we are playing unranked games. And honestly, I feel that the downside of not having sweepers is just too brutal. Like, most of the decks currently are creature based, like you are getting flooded with small creatures every single turn. So it just feels, too risky. Like, if enemy slips 2 creatures that are growing, like a Tyrant for example, like, you didn't answer 2 drops, so you think maybe I can play around it. Not really. Like, Aspirant will kill you, especially that you need perfect cards to counter like Cavalier, Raiju, then the burn spells go. Like, it just feels overwhelming. Like, if you have perfect draw, you will of course counter everything, and that's great. But generally you need sweeper for this cleanup, and lacking black mana in this deck is just so brutal because you cannot remove creatures, even Fading Hope. Like, this is one of the reasons this is a control deck. But honestly, it feels that you are pressured to just try to kill the enemy as soon as possible. Of course you have draw, of course you can go for the longer game, that's fine. Maybe I'm over exaggerating a bit, but it just doesn't feel like this solid, steady control that, you can take everything. There are things you can't take, and you just need to close the game before they happen. You can steal 1 creature with Invoke the Winds, but if he plays 5 in a row, you need to counter them, and those are mana based, so it's a bit scary later. So I guess you need to dig for answers with Memory Deluge and this one. In reality, you try to cast Jin Gitaxias, the crow, like as soon as possible, and when enemy you feel cannot answer it, this will close you the game most likely. And then you cast whatever the spell you have, it gets doubled, and you get so much value that you can finally breathe, and enemy just knows he's too behind. So yeah, those are my impressions. Actually, we didn't perform too bad. We were playing against some weird decks, a lot of discards it seems, but I didn't go with the stats to be honest for this one because I feel that's completely not the point. But it felt like around 50%, maybe even better. I didn't feel that we were mostly losing. I think we were mostly winning in the end. So take it or leave it. That's definitely a fun deck to try. I wouldn't craft it competitively at all. I think Dimir is just strictly better. So that being said, let's go into the games because for the entertainment purposes, I think this deck is awesome because when it works, it's just glorious. So don't get it discourage you. Definitely a fun deck to play with. So enjoy the videos. I hope you like it. And if you like this kind of decks, if you like competitive decks as well, don't forget to subscribe. It really helps the channel. I really do appreciate it. And everyone that subscribed is just amazing person overall. So let's go into the games and tell me in the comments how you liked it. Do you enjoy this kind of videos? Do you enjoy this kind of decks? Because I would play mono blue quite a bit. I like the archetype. It's just not extremely efficient compared to the Mir, which seems strictly better thanks to removal. So tell me in the comments what you think and enjoy the video. Alright, we don't really have much control, but we definitely have things to enhance our card draw, so let's try, you know. Maybe we don't meet anything extremely aggressive. Jwari is pretty good. To drop Tenacious Underdog. I think we can let it through, just so we can ramp with the Spell Satchel a bit. Yeah, we aren't guaranteed to hit the 4th land. And we are facing the Mir. Well, that's definitely some problem. Let's hope he doesn't get Jin Gitaxias, because I will definitely be quite sad about it. And I think we need more cards, and we need to keep up Jwari, even for the flashback. Because the Siphon Insight is really devastating to us. So, this way we ramp a bit. And that's pretty sweet. And we also prevent the card draw. Nice, we hit the land. That's really good one. What do we do? Enemy is tapped out completely. Grixis isn't like the most counterspell based deck usually. Not sure what we are playing against, of course, but I think they shouldn't have as many counterspells. If he doesn't do anything, we might go for the Memory Deluge, because it's a bit less painful when it gets countered, and we also have one additional mana, so we don't really invest the Spell Satchel. Think. Big score. Huh. You know what? I will do it. So the enemy has only 2 mana left for this turn, and that's not extremely scary. I will take this. I do enjoy land. Jwari just stopped being useful. After the treasures, they will always have stuff to pay. Invoke the Winds is a good draw. Like, at some point they will make a Goldspan Dragon. I like the Spirit. Spirit is a thing. However, we cannot double level it up to 4/4, so it will die to most removal. So, for this reason... No, we don't steal the treasure. Yes, you can steal the treasure. I will just sacrifice it in response. So, I think that's how we go. Oh man, it's like we need more counter spells. We need Devious Cover-Up. A lot of them. Like both. So we have 7, enemy has 7 mana, that's a lot. Do we care about the graveyard? Not the most. Alright. I think it's the land and this card draw. I do like this. I do like the spirit. We definitely don't exile the Memory Deluge because we want the flashback power. Like, it cut his turn. Okay, I see, I see. Okay, you got it. And Memory Deluge is still here. Enemy is tapped out with no mana. And suddenly we are back to 3 cards. Devious Cover-Up, very nice. We have Celestus, so we don't need it too much. Fading Hope, not the best draw, definitely. I think we will cycle whatever we get. That's a good one. Well, not gonna lie, that's a good one. So, if you want to level it up, enemy can respond to it and use like Lava Spike or whatever it's called. If we do it now, he needs to deal actual 3 damage. But then we are tapped out. We still have 4 mana. He might play Jwari. But while in 3-color deck, you generally shouldn't be able to. Let's do it now. Because right now, obviously if he had 1 mana removal, I guess he could still cast it, but first he gets a card draw, and second there's a lot of 2 mana removal. We cannot level it up again, but you know, this cuts his turn quite heavily. We could cast Jwari for a counter, but I do not feel that it's the most impactful play we can do. Definitely Spirit is presenting a lot of pressure. What is the card? Alright. This is definitely a... no, we do not want to submit this one. Like, we need to counter this. It's way too much cards. And right now he has only 3 cards, 3 mana and 3 cards, basically. This is one of the best cards he could have. Oh man, like Iteration, my arch nemesis. The card that always keeps giving, not to us. It's like his hand must be busted if he discarded Maestro's Charm. It's such an amazing card. We can go up to 6 Snowlands. We definitely make it. Do we? Like, we could go for Memory Deluge, or we could go for Aggression. 4 power, 4 toughness. Yeah, they can just use 1 Maestro's Charm. So for this reason, I think that's the play. Alright. Alright. Invoke the Winds is okay. Does it make disappear? It might be. I'm casting main phase because I don't want him to untap. It's not much damage, but Ascendant Spirit is not exactly working here. The fact that it baited a 5 mana removal is perfect. We won't get better than this, and this is again the pain. Oh, nice. Nice. I wish we had 1 more mana, but you know what? I'll take it. Jin Gitaxias, to the rescue. Oh, this is a land, right? Yeah, let's go for it. The faster we can stop using Spell Satchel, the faster we might get some cards. Yep, and here comes the removal. But still, he needs to have it. Okay, so exile. Okay, but that will... What? Nice. Okay, nice. So, how do we do this? We can attack him for 5. Like, I'm not sure how important this pest is, honestly. But it is something we can make disappear. And it deals damage. We are freaking doing it. We are doing it. Because it also gives us additional card with the Magecraft. Oh man, oh man, I should have I thought I forgot Jin Gitaxias copies the spells. I'm so bad. You can clearly see I'm not playing with Jin Gitaxias enough. But that's 5 damage. He cannot have anything to exile. Like, I'm surprised he didn't take the Noxious Fumes, right? That's the card. Alright, and this is why we have took the Pest. We go for the Casualty. Not sure why it's grayed out. Oh man, triggers. Let's make this one first. I want to make sure that it gets copied. And Arcane Bombardment. And man, you are not getting it into play. This is why we wanted to make this appear and the Pest token. What is this target for, even? I don't know, it's probably for the counter spell, so let's put it here. Oh man, Jin Gitaxias and Casualty is definitely making things pretty crazy. He also was confused, he just preferred to, you know, pay everything. Yeah, and now he has only one card, and that was the wrong choice. I think he didn't have double black to cast Noxious Fumes. Probably, but maybe he just made unoptimized mana choices. Jin Gitaxias carried this game for us. Oh man, we actually are going first. So while we play control, we will definitely not look like a control to the enemy. We might actually even win with this Ascendant Spirit, we will see. Enemy a bit slow start. Let's pump it up. We are basically just mono blue tempo right now. This is one of the reasons we have so many snowlands, because we don't want to miss a single one. So I could go for the value. Let's go for blockers. But I do not think that's the correct choice. Like, we are on the play, we are extremely aggressive since start, and when we start drawing we'll slow so down. We don't have sweepers in this deck, so it's hard for us to just, you know, go 1 for mana. Our best removal is basically... Ah, I see. So we definitely want to get rid of this, right? Alright, we play like this. This would have to be 6, but it has Death Touch. We Fading Hope, but do we play another Ascendant Spirit and level it up? It seems pretty good, honestly. We could also go for the card draw, I guess. I would expect he will replay this. But having more pressure on the board is probably just a bit better. Maybe I should wait to fake some counter spells, but I don't think he would change the play. Like, he has only 1 play per turn, and he's nearly dying already. So we can either go this one for 6, or just make 2 4/4s. Oh yes, can you feel the power? It has haste. It has haste. So perfect, so perfect. I'm pretty sure he's not happy with the result. Alright, as in 100% of the games we are on the draw. Seems fair. So yeah, about this hand, we have Fading Hope, we have Negate, so far so good. And we was not matched with creature decks so far even once. That's a bit insane. Professor, definitely not something you want to bounce. So we keep going with Negate, and I guess we go into card draw and try to go with Lier. That's a pretty good draw. What is their 3-drop? Like this. This is their 3-drop. So let's go as aggressively as we can. So we can at least accelerate a bit. Like, this is definitely something that will come handy for the rest of the game. So I think this investment is okay. Yep, and he can draw 2 cards. That's strong, but it's okay. Green. That's something I did not expect to see. Satchel is not great. Not here at least. We need the Negate up. Are we just Fading Hope? That's a hard one. Four is a lot of mana. This is the point where enemy can do stuff. This is not activated, unfortunately. Maybe we play like this. Worst case, I just Fading Hope and get to 6 mana or 5 mana, depending on the draw. And it still seems a bit scary. If we had colorless counterspell, we would have 2 mana. Wow, so punished. So freaking punished.
Phyrexia is the multiverse's synthetic destiny.
That's fine. We definitely don't get a lot of value from our satchels this game. But at least we need to ramp a bit with them. And those counters will stay. We need untapped land. Like this. Thank you. But Tamiyo on the board is definitely a huge issue. And we don't have additional mana to cast stuff. Like, the biggest problem already happened. And it's Tamiyo. So I think we go with Celestus. It will curate a bit our draws. And yeah. What is the target? Of course, Celestus. Smart choice. Let's go for blue. We still can cast Negate with the Spell Satchel. Alright, let's go to combat. Enemy wants to clear the mana board. And he sees no counter spell for the creatures. Alright, alright. So he will probably want to get rid of one of the Satchels and tap the other one, maybe? How good is it? Like, I think we need mana. Like, with the Spell Deluge, we can use a lot of mana, and the Magecraft counters are useful. Let's go like this. Let's use it while we can. And let's draw some cards and put more counters. Okay, those are good cards. So Jin Gitaxias, because he taps out heavily. This cannot get the Planewalker, unfortunately. We would love to see it. Bankbuster is so much cards. Let's go for the responsible choice, I think. I'm using those counters. Okay, maybe this one was not correct. Alright, so that was a mistake, definitely. I'm generally trying to use them before Tamiyo can tap them. Because basically it always makes, you know, something not work. Man, like, this Tamiyo was so devastating for the full game. She's so irritating. And we don't have good ways to answer Planewalkers other than counter spells that we do not draw. Alright, that's a land. I think it should be Jin Gitaxias, right? It has to be. Because we do not have much time. Like, it can be neutralized, sorry, with the Tamiyo, of course, but the passive abilities will be there, and that's a big issue. So, we need to go a bit all in. But doubling our spells will be so much power. And it also means that we have more mana if he taps the Jin Gitaxias. We have what? I think like this turn to leave, and then we need to start answering stuff. We have Fading Hope in the graveyard, so we can cast Lier and Fading Hope this one if we want next turn. Reduced to memory. Okay, so he's preparing. Can he cast 2 spells this turn? I wonder. I do wonder this. I would think he can't, but maybe he can surprise me.
You cannot delay our victory.
When we untap and get the value from Memory Deluge, this is a huge comeback then. Adam is definitely playing some beast cards with a Sika's Chariot. Yep, that's a lot of damage. I'm taking it. Also, I guess we could start attacking the Planewalkers, if we really want to. That's my turn. Alright, alright. You know what? I do see some potential here. Let's make some counters, shall we? Alright. We need so much blue mana, so let's get one. We will steal this one. I guess better this way. And then let's get maybe this one. We get a lot of counters, so in future we can start drawing cards. And, well, everything seems a bit better now. And we can pressure one of the Planewalkers, right? And suddenly, Jin Gitaxias is not his only problem. Yep, so suddenly he has no board. So even if he makes full turn to remove the Jin Gitaxias, he still has other cards to worry from, or worry for. And Spell Satchel drawing card is also pretty useful. Okay, that's cool. So let's prepare for the onslaught, because this will be a lot of action and a lot of cards, but we at least get one extra card countered every turn. So it will counteract his mana reduction. Yep, that's a counter. No Esika's Chariot, it also counters artifacts. Now reduce. He still has the creature, like it's still 3-2, and he's out of mana nearly. He probably can cast 2 spells for this, like solid 2 spells. Inspired Idea, card I really like. Without the Cliff, right? So he needs to discard a lot of cards. That's a 3-fork, that is not a problem. Man, I think he starts to mess up a bit. Like, he had so much stuff last turn. Look at now. And we have Lier in the hand, so we can Fading Hope this. Alright, that's a lot of lands, but what after? So it's Storm the Festival deck, right? It has to be. Let's draw some extra cards. That's a good one. That's definitely something I do enjoy. How much do we have? 8 mana. 8 mana. No, we need Lier this turn. Let's get this counter. Also, we get counter on this Satchel then. We cannot go into Invoke the Winds, which is unfortunate. I would love to have it. But let's at least scry. Let's put the counters here. Like, this is deck finally working in all with everything, right? Alright, so we get to draw a card with the Bankbuster. I think I prefer it. Enemy is tapped out, so we know exactly what will happen. Yeah, card is more important than whatever else will happen. I should have played this one before. I think I had the chance to put the counter on this one. Alright, so that being said, let's go into attack phase. This goes here, that goes here. Enemy has some extra value thanks to the logbook or notebook, but enemy is at 12 under extreme pressure, and he needs to answer a lot of stuff, and then we play Jin Gitaxias if we want. We actually could just take next turn the notebook, which we will do. If we can, we will definitely do it. Okay, what is the target? Bankbuster or what? Like, it has to be until 4 mana cost. Okay, I will draw my card. Like, we have quite a lot of cards to draw with the Spell Satchels, Bankbusters, even like the Celestus. Alright, so he's going for all the mana value. I don't think that's good enough. I do not believe that's good enough. Let's, Invoke the Winds. And that was the breaking point, stealing his ultimate from Tamiyo. Like, in the end, Tamiyo really worked out to our favor, I guess. But yeah, that was such a hard game. So much value in this deck, and the moment we put Tamiyo in the game, it was just a bit painful from there. Alright, on the draw, with no counter spells. Okay, this one is definitely better. It's actually so good that I would prefer this as a 7-lander, 7-carder. I don't want to discard anything. Probably is Celestus, because it serves a bit of a same purpose as Bankbuster. It draws cards over time, and well, it's a ramp, but we don't have anything to ramp for right now. Warlock class, man, like I cannot state how bad it is to be on the draw with mono blue, because basically your whole game plan is hoping to not let anything threatening enter the battlefield. So if it enters, you are just pretty screwed. You need to go until 5 mana to answer it. Fortunately, enemy did not use this opportunity. He basically just drew cards. And this is possibly the best what could happen to us. Alright, is this Jwari turn? It is. I would love to have Jwari, but I was taught to not be so greedy, and we have another counter spell in Make Disappear. This is kinda scary, you know? I will counter it. It's not the worst card, but that's definitely something that can be threatening, and we have enough card draw to make up for it, so we just need more time. Like, the longer the game goes, the better we should be. So let's just make sure that nothing with 3 attack attacks us in the face until we die. Henrika, sure. What will you go for? Drawing cards would be really good for us. Well, like, maybe not the best ones, he doesn't really have a choice, right? Like, he's not sacrificing stuff, I guess. And we go for Graven Lore, like, it's really slow. Spell Satchel is something we wanted at the start. Instead, for example, of the Bankbuster. Then we could cast Jin Gitaxias pretty quick. But like, so far it's just 3 damage. We are not extremely scared about this one. So let's make it slow. Hopefully enemy thinks we have counter spells and plays around them. And then we cast Graven Lore. Oh, that's some risky play. Big score. Okay, sure. Okay, and that's the end step. And finally, let's draw some answers, because I cannot stand more mana. Alright, Fading Hope is... Fading Hope is actually pretty good. We have enough lands, definitely. Those cards are really fine. For enemy it might be scary. If he sees 3 top, it means that we knew exactly what we drew, and we were happy with it. And finally, let's make use of this Spell Satchel. I think we take 1 more hit from Henrika, because this way we ensure the Devious Cover-Up. Right? Of course. Okay, so enemy has only 5 solid mana, but he can pay a bit. Alright, that's an interesting one. Will he level up the classes? That's fine. As long as he tries to go for value, I'm pretty happy with this, because I'm pretty sure we have more value in the end. Okay. Attackers. Do we do it right now? I think so. Yeah. We do it right now. Because then we have still 4 mana for the Devious Cover-Up, and it's really tempting for him to replay the Henrika while we are a bit tapped out. And when he does it, he needs to burn the treasures for the future, and then all of our counter spells that are mana based is just so important. Oh man, he actually went around it. Okay, sure. So he just draws cards. That's okay. Okay, and now we know he has no instance. He can level up something? No. And that was it, I guess. Alright, we are going second. We do have Fading Hope and the Spirit, so we have quite a lot of plays every game. Let's see what the cat dragged in. I will go really aggressive with this one as a start. And let's see if he can remove it. Yep, he can. That was quite easy for him. So, let's try again, this time with Fading Hope. I always forget that we will have this trigger. This really shows the enemy that we have protection, and if he's good, that's definitely not what you want. And I guess we get like Spell Satchel. We don't really have time to play it this game. Like, it's not a bad card, but we just have chosen the Spirit as our go-to. So we know. Let's continue. Let's see the block. Oh, and he went for it. Nice. 3 kills. That's what we like. If they played this, it usually means they have sacrifice effects or something that trades creature for the cards. Now we protect with first for discovery or search the Count's castle. They are pretty good here. Do we go for this strategy? So far it's not working perfectly, but we can steal whatever he plays, so let's try again. If this will be a heart removal, we draw the cards. If it won't be a heart removal, discards 2 cards. Okay, that's interesting. We will have... yeah, that is a pain a bit. We could go all in. No, we need 7 mana. No, we can just go for 2 and the 3. And then we draw cards. That's pretty dope. I think we do this, though. And I think we do it like this. Because then we can go up to 4/4. I'm not sure about this, but it's still a Bankbuster or leveling up. Maybe we just go like this. So we don't have protection, but we have like split threats. We have 1 creature, 1 artifact that will draw us cards, so if he wants to discard... Are you freaking serious? This is so good for him. Like, okay. Maybe I shouldn't have played it. That was a bit of a mistake. But let's see what the enemy will do. Like, we can very easily rebuild with the cards. But yeah, Chain Invoke the Spell will always be a pain. Let's draw some more then. Yeah, let's discard this one. It will be this, and I think we should go for the Spirit, because we have quite a lot of power thanks to Bankbuster. Like, enemies are going crazy with Go Blank today. That's a bit scary as well. So, let's draw, see what's up. Lier. Lier is good. It means that we want Spell Satchel. Of course, right now the graveyard is exiled, but it will build up over time. And we will have 4/4 compared to his 3/3. So that's okay, you know. At some point we will get Fading Hope. I want to draw at the end step, or as a reaction. And I think 7 mana is quite important, so we will take it. Like, we have quite a lot of time. The enemy needs to commit really heavily, so it's like 20 mana invested. Alright, so this will be Negate for sure. I do not like this combination, so those cards go for the amount of this card, and this one is basically like, you know, value this card. Okay, sure. So we can go for the thingy and Lier next turn, and we can block the menace if we really want to. I wonder what the cards are. Okay, only 1 card in the enemy hand. That's really good for us. Unfortunately, we drew a land, as usually, and another land. as usually. And like the lands are definitely there. We could counter pressure him. Like, we don't have choice, we didn't draw anything. That's a really unfortunate thing. We can attack for 5 this turn. I think I will just counter raise him. Like, we have quite a lot of damage right now. And we can deal 7 a turn, he can deal 3 a turn. So 6, 6, 3, 0. So it means that he needs to react to it first. 1 damage does not change much. I like the art on this one, that's pretty cool. Obviously we don't get any kind of value from Lier, somehow, but yeah. We definitely have a lot of power on the board at least. Like, we are not drawing any kind of spells for a long time in this game. I think like 3 or 4 turns of draws and not a single spell. And we have most decks of spells, right? Feed the Swarm costs you life, so I'm not really sure if that was so great. He needs to remove another creature or he's dead, right? He really wanted to remove Lier? Huh, I wonder. Good game, my friend. So counter racing turned out to be the correct choice, I think. Unless he thinks that he won. Okay, that was a nice one. Very close game. I think he just wanted to show that barely 1 turn was the difference between winning and losing, but we got Graven Lore, so we could ramp it. We would have 3 mana and 3 here, so 6 mana in total after casting Graven Lore, so I think we would get something.